let's start this today's session for the first day of a software testing. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you to the basic concepts about the software testings and the terminology being used. And these are the basic questions which you can expect from the interviewer during the interview. Because once the basic is clear, the interview go to the next level. And we have designed our course based on from basic to the advanced level. So first we covered all the basic concepts about the software testing, quality assurance, the different processes, different methodologies, different levels of testings, various types of testing, test planning, strategy, test cases. Then slowly we move towards the automation, the test frameworks, the different tools. Then we talk more about the defect tracking tool, Jira, HP Quality Center, Load Runner, QTP, and Selenium. So the course has been designed from basic to advanced. Disha, you're online, right?
Yes.
Okay, great. So the course, what we have done is how we have divided. We have divided into 5 different modules, and the course will go for around 50 hours, 5 weeks of classes on alternative days. So module 1, we talk more about the introduction to QA or software testings. What are the different terminology being used in software testing? Like quality assurance, quality control, verifications, validations, what is software testings, defects, project, products. In Module 2, we talk more about the software development life cycles and the quality standards. What are the different processes? What are the different life cycles this IT company follows to develop the product and where the testing fits in? We talk more about the Agile, Scrum process, quality standards like ISO, CMMI, IEEE, what of those standards are and how the company follow the process to have those standards for their company. In Module 3, we talk more about the testing concepts and manual testing, like different testing methodologies, black box, white box, the different levels of testings like integration, system, functionality, regression, and various types of testings like performance, security, volume, stress, load, acceptance. In Module 4, we talk more about the different management who are involved in the project and they take care of their work. Okay, Monica. So we talk more about how the requirement management process works, how the configuration management works, how the different version numbers has been done, the different versions about the documents has been given by the configuration analyst. Then what are the strategy, what is the risk management, what is the defect life cycle. And these topics, the topics which we have covered in the training, thinking the interviewer in mind, and when you go for the interview, these topics will be likely to be asked, like defect life cycle, difference between the verification, validation, quality assurance, quality control, the test estimation techniques, test plan, the contents of a test plans, can you please write the test cases, what do you understand by the test strategy, all these concepts. In Module 5, we talk more about the automation testing tool. What are the different automation frameworks you have been used during the project? What are the different automation test frameworks available? Then talk more about the Selenium. How do you record and play back your scripts when you wanted to test your web application? How do you use the Selenium RC, Selenium WebDriver? How to configure with Eclipse? So these the tools which are possible to get to hands-on. We will be providing the hands-on experience. I'll be assisting you how to configure and install these tools on your machine or on your laptop, and then based on the assignment you can play around and ask any questions. And there will be assignment sessions at each topics which you need to complete and come with little bit of preparations, or if any confusions we can take up in the next class. So during the next class, will I spend 10 minutes of time, first 10 minutes of time on the assignments or any doubts which you people have. So any questions till now?
No such.
Disha, Arus, you have any questions?
No. No.
Great. Thank you. So as we have seen, Disha, can you please tell me what are your understanding about the software testing?
Basically, software testing is you are making some software, and before launching it, you need to have a dry run. And when you dry run, you use some tools to verify the data which you already want, exactly wanted, and what result you got. So to match them up, you use few tools in the testing, so, and if any bug is there, so you can verify it
Okay, that's good. That's good. Pretty much close to that. Arush, can you please tell me about your concept about the software testing?
Sure. Software testing is a method of checking the functionality of a software that it works according to the user requirement, and it satisfies the requirement and it's functionally accurate. And we check the bugs too in order to check if it's working as per the requirement.
Okay, that's good. I'll tell you the perfect definition for a software testing and why the software testing is important. Because prior to 2000, the company were not investing much on the software testing. They are just developing the software with some small unit testing or small kind of testing that will be released to the customer. So what was happening at the customer end, as the applications or the software is not properly tested, a lot of problems was faced by user. And as an impact of that, the company started losing the business. So the company was thinking, why we are not investing more on some separate testing team who will be responsible only for testing the software or application. So they have started investing, and a separate testing team will be taking care of the application testing. And software testing is nothing but the process of identifying the completeness, correctness, the quality, and security of the applications or the software. Completeness in terms of all the requirements specified by the customer are being fulfilled. Correctness in terms of the requirements which are given by the customer and the functionality which customer is looking is as per the requirements and it is working fine. Secured, like it is secured from the unauthorized user to use that application or software. The quality of the software is nothing but the software is stable. The usability of the software, it is easy to use. No more bugs, no more critical bugs. And it's good to use. So depend on the four important points, the software testing has been done. And it's also to demonstrate the software is doing what it's supposed to do, as well as the software what it is not supposed to do. I'll take a small example. You're using the internet banking of any bank, and what you do is you have your own user ID and password to log into the banking website. So example of what software is supposed to do, what software is not supposed to do is, like when you are using your credential, to log into the website, you should be with correct name and password, you should be able to see the homepage of the application. That is what it's supposed to do. And what it's not supposed to do is, like when you are entering your username and wrong password or wrong username and correct password, it should not allow you to see the home page. So this is what the example of what a software is supposed to do, what a software not supposed to do. I have just given a small example about an incident happened in April 2003. about the loan company, and they suffered a loss because the software is not tested properly. Now I come to the other process, like which we generally know in software testing, is the quality assurance. So quality assurance is the process used to identify the standards, the guidelines, the procedures, the process which are followed during the implementation of the software is correct and has been correctly implemented for the development of the product. And this has been achieved with the help of meetings, discussions, reviewing, walkthrough. You don't execute any codes in quality assurance process. You are just verifying the procedure, the life cycle module, the different documentations, what you have followed for the development of the software is correct and properly implemented. But in software testing, you are actually installing the software. You are actually verifying the functionality of the software. In quality assurance process, you don't execute any code. Any questions till now about software testing or quality assurance?
No, no question.
All right. Disha, any doubts? You see the difference between the software testing and the quality assurance?
Yes, yes.
All right. So let me go to this we have already covered, like is testing a technical role? When it comes to the manual testing, you don't require any technical skill set. You just require the basic understanding of the computer and how to use the Microsoft Office, like especially Word and Excel spreadsheet, because most of the documents will be in Microsoft Words, and in most of the company, the test cases have been returned in Microsoft Excel. And then they import to any of the test management tools using the add-ins or the plugins. So it just want like to be a manual tester, or do we choose like to choose software testing as a career? You just need your analytical skills and judgment skills. And whenever you are testing your applications, you need to think that you are the user of this software which you are going to use. So the chances of getting defects, the chances of the quality of the software increases. And you would require the technical skill. You would require the technical skills when it comes to the automation or testing of the applications against the database. So why automations? Because you need to write the scripting. You need to use Java, Perl, Python, Ruby, C#, .NET for developing your test scripts based on the manual test cases. So where you need expertise in programming of any of these languages. And in terms of database testing, you need to be well aware about the SQL queries, like how you fetch the data from the database, how you fetch the data related to the employee's salary, employee's ID, employee's age, employee address from the database table, how you join the two different tables, what are the different queries, and how you write the queries to join different tables or to get or to remove the duplicated value and get a unique table. So where you require the technical skills about like how this has been done. But when it comes to manual testing, you don't require any skill sets. You just require your analytical skills, judgment skills, and the way you're looking for the software or the applications, because you're going to be thinking like when you're testing the applications, you should think like you're the user, you're the customer who is using these applications. So any questions, any doubt?
No, Sachin.
Great. So the other concepts what we have is a project and product. So when a company is developing certain software or application based on a particular customer and usage, is called as a project, and it is completely focused on the process to develop a software based on a particular customer. So the life cycle, what it follows is like we take the requirements from that particular customer, that's the initial phase. Then we do a planning based on the requirements, like what kind of designs the customer is looking for, which kind of technology we should be using it, what are the programming language we are using it. So based on that, the planning is done. And after the planning, the coding and the implementation, the coding starts, the developer starts writing the code for that particular requirements. So once the code is developed and ready for test, it comes to the testing team and they start executing the test cases. They start executing the test plans. That is what the executing phase. And once that has been done, it has been given to the customer. The implementation engineer goes and install on the customer site, and then the monitoring and control process starts. After the product is stable for after a certain amount of time, we close the project and start working on some of the projects. So the project is nothing but when a company is working on developing a software or application based on customer requirements and his usage only. Product, when the company is developing a software or application based on many customer and their usage, they developed a software or the product which can be used by multiple customer. That is basically a product, and it is completely driven by the market. Like how you are going to, what is the current market, what are our competitors are doing in terms of the products, what we have. When we are going to introduce in the market, how do you see the growth in the market? What is the maturity level of the product in the market? And then decline, like once the product is matured enough in the market and it's quite stable, they go on some other project. So the project is completely based on the process, like planning, executions, monitoring and control, and the product is completely based on the market studies, introduction to the market, what multiple customers are looking for, and how we are going to develop the product based on that. Any questions on project and product?
Yes. So
in both cases, project and product, we have to go through the whole cycle, like the software development cycle?
Yes. So,
but project is just for the customer and product is for the market, for the company.
It's based on the market study, what the other competitor, what the market is looking for. So based on those requirements, it takes a form of a project, and then you start developing the software and follow the software development life cycle process to develop the project. Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Great. Any other questions?
Yes, I have.
Yeah. Sorry, Disha, your voice is breaking, Disha.
Yeah, actually there is some disturbance. I'm not sure whether it's from your side or my side, but a few sounds.
All right. So tell me, what is your questions? What is your doubt on this?
Yeah. So when you say that the project is based on customer requirement, but when it comes to the customer, it could be any client or it could be any company, and they are looking for the same product. So that time, how can you differentiate that it is a project or a product?
See, that time we don't differentiate. When it goes to the market, it takes a shape of a product. What I'm trying to tell you, how the projects and the products, these are two different things. So the product can take a shape of a project when they are in the development phase. So the product is completely based on the market studies. What is your competitor is doing? What are the customers looking for? Right? I'll take a small example. Like a couple of years back, or say 1 year back, in the market for the mobile, the smartphones, the customer are only looking for the camera, right? Camera of 8 megapixel or 13 megapixel or 5 megapixel, right? There were no front camera. But the customer started, like the customers started looking for the option for front camera, right? So these studies, and then the company, based on these studies, based on the market evaluation, market studies, the company started developing the front-end camera. So this is, and that front-end camera, when it goes to the company for developing, for manufacturing and all, that takes the shape of a project. But when it comes to the customer, it becomes a product, right? It becomes a new feature.
Yeah.
So that is how it works.
Oh.
Does that answer your question?
Oh, yes, yes.
Great. Any other question? All right. So also I'd like to add, when you're working on certain project in the company, the products can be apparent and has many different modules. So if you're working on one module, you can call that as a project. But when it comes and integrated, it's called as a product, because you don't sell, like the projects may have the different versions, different, like it goes through the different like levels of development. After getting the bugs, again the bug fixes will done, the new software released to the tester, and that will have certain numbers, certain version numbers and all. So that you can't deliver to the customer. So when it goes to the market, it goes with one version number. Take an example, Java 1.7, Internet Explorer 11 or 12. But internally, when it has been developed, it may be 11.0, 11.A, 11.B. So these are the different versions what the company follows during the development of the product. But when it delivers to the customer, when it delivers to the market, they give a proper number. So that is how it works. The projects can be a small chunk, a small part of a product. So now we come to the important point, and 99% the interviewer asks, can you please tell me the difference between the quality assurance and quality control? So as I've said earlier, the quality assurance is a process of identifying the procedure, the process, the guidelines, the documentations which you have followed during the development of the product is correct and properly implemented. You don't execute any code in quality assurance process. You just achieve that with the help of meetings, discussions, reviewing the documents, walkthrough. But when it comes to the quality control is basically you are controlling the quality of the software. And how do you control? By testing it, by verifying the functionality is as per the customer requirements, by controlling the defects, by finding the defects, and those defects are fixed by the developer and again tested and working fine prior releasing to the customer. So quality control is nothing but your software testing process. You're actually testing the software. You're actually executing the code and testing the functionality of the software. So, and the goal of the quality center is to identify the defects once the product is developed and before releasing to the customer. So all the defects which are being found during the testing phase should be fixed. But in real world, what happens? The software cannot be bug free when it goes to the customer. It cannot be a bug free. There will be a bugs, at least 10 to 20% of defects or the bugs will be present in the software which released to the customer. And how the company cover up that? They mention all these defects in release notes, like these are the known issues for us and we are working on it, but there is no impact. There is no major impact on the usability of this product. But the company makes sure like they don't have any critical high defects present in the software. So the issues what might be present is like a small customize or a small issues like a link is not working. At one on the web page, the link is not working at certain page, but the link is working at a different page. So they just provide like, okay, we are working on this, but you can use, the customer can use a different link and they can able to solve their problems. I'll give an example. The iPhone does not support the Bluetooth, but still everybody uses iPhone. So the software which released to the market cannot be bug-free. So the quality assurance, so when anybody asks you the difference between quality assurance and quality control, you just say quality assurance is a process of identifying or assuring that the standards, the procedure, the process, the guidelines which are followed in the project are correct and properly implemented. Quality control is nothing but the software testing process where you identify the completeness, correctness, the quality and the security of the software is fine. And the aim of the quality control process is to identify your defects after the product is developed before releasing to the customer. So these are the two differences about the quality assurance and the quality control. And how this has been like, if you see the diagram, the quality control versus quality assurance. If you see, the quality control is completely focused on the product, reactive, the line functions, and finding the defects. But the process, the quality assurance process, or the quality assurance talks about the process, the proactiveness in finding like the process which are being followed is correct or not. What are the functions of the staff, like the developer, what he is trying to develop, the tester, what he is trying to test. He's not worried like which part he is testing, what he is trying to test, how he is testing, he is not worried. Is he executing the test case? Is not worried. But in quality control process, when we do that quality control testing, you should know like what test cases you are executing, which part of the software you are testing it. So the process is basically, the quality assurance process is basically to prevent the defects from arising, but the quality control goal is to find the defects. This is how it has been differentiated. Any questions? Disha, Arush, any questions?
No, Sachin.
Great. So there are certain criteria where the quality assurance is followed, or you can say the base criteria by which you say the quality assurance process is well managed and properly implemented during the project life cycle or the product life cycle. So they are basically correctness, efficiency, flexible, interoperability. Like this can be used, the product which you have developed can be used in some other product. The software which you have developed can be used with different hardware or with different functionality. How maintainability, like you can easily maintain the software code or this software for future enhancement. Portability, like it can be used easily on different environments. The software is reliable. It can be reusable. Like when you want to do enhancement in near future, you can reuse the same code. You can reuse the same design. You can reuse the same testing procedures. The software which we have developed can be tested and it can be easy to use for the customer. So these are the basic criteria by which you say the quality assurance process is well maintained and properly followed during the project life cycle. But in quality control process, what you do is like there are 4 options and it consists of you need to plan. Once the planning is done, you start doing the testing or executing the test cases. You check that the different parameters are correct, the functionality is correctly implemented or not. And if the functionality is not correct, if you found any defects during that, what you do is you act and log the defect. So it's a 4-step process. Like you do a planning, like you define the criteria, like, okay, these are the basic criteria when we are testing the software for checking the quality of the software or the applications. We use set the criteria. That is basically where you're writing test plan, your test cases, your test scenario, going through the functional requirements, specifications, documents, and all. So there you're doing the planning. Then after the planning, in the do stage, what you do is like you verify all the test cases covering up the requirements or not. You're trying to map the test cases with your requirements. So basically you're defining a parameter to develop the quality, like, okay, these are the parameters by which if all this passes, we say the quality of the product is good. And in check stage, what you do is you start executing your test cases. That's why it says stage 2 verify if the quality of the parameter are met. So how you do is you execute the steps and see the functionality of the software and matches to the requirements from the customer or not. And in act, take corrective actions if needed and repeat the work. So once you see the functionality is not as per the customer requirements, you go and log a defect. You raise your voice like, okay, this functionality sorry, is not working as per the customer requirements. You're acting on that. So any questions on the quality assurance, quality control, and the processes or the criteria, what the quality assurance follows, what the quality control follows?
No, Sachin.
Arish, any questions?
No, I'll ask you if I have any questions.
Yeah, great. Thank you. So this is the other terminologies or the topics which interviewer generally ask to confuse the tester or the candidates, just to verify like they are well aware about the concepts of the software, the basic concepts of the software testing or not. Disha, can you please read me the first paragraph about the verification?
Yeah. Verification and validation. Verification. Verification is a static practice of verifying documents, design, code, and programming. It does not involve executing the code. It is human-based checking of documents and files. Verification methods like inspection, reviews, walkthroughs, and desk checking.
So what do you understand by this paragraph? Can you please try to map this definition with the topics which we have covered earlier? Can you please tell me how it is similar to some other process which we have covered till now? Or I'm going to say verification is what process? Disha?
Yeah, I'm just putting into words. Just give me a second.
Yeah. So verification is a static practice of verifying documents, design, code, and program. It does not involve executing the code. It's a human-based checking of documents and files. Verification uses methods like inspections, review, walkthrough, and desk checking. Disha, no problem. If you don't get it, no problem. It's fine. But I just wanted to understand what you understand or where you can try to see the similar things which we have covered till now.
Yeah, I'm not getting that that word.
That's fine. Arush, can you please try to answer like which process it is similar to?
Well, verification, I think it's a process that ensures that the product is designed to deliver all the functionality to the customer, and that includes review, the meetings, documents, plans, coding, while validation ensures that the functionality it,
Yeah.
it says that everything.
Thanks. Sorry to interrupt you. I'm just looking for like the which process is similar to the verification, what we have covered till now.
Verification, I think it's similar to quality assurance, and validation is quality control.
Great. That's what the answer I was looking for. And that's what like the interviewer will also look for. He will ask a question like, is quality assurance is a verification? Is there any similar between quality assurance and a verification? So that's why the verification is nothing but your quality assurance process. So as we have seen in the quality assurance process, we are not executing any code. We are not executing any code. What we are doing is we are just verifying the process, the procedures, the design, the documents are being correct and properly implemented during the product. That is basically the quality assurance, and it is similar to the verification process. In verification also, you don't execute any code. You are just verifying the files, inspection, you are just verifying the files, code, procedures. And you are achieving through the inspections, review, walkthrough, meeting, discussions. Arush, can you please read the validation paragraph?
Sure. Validation is a dynamic mechanism of validating and testing the actual product. It always involves executing the code. It is computer-based execution of program. Validation uses methods like black box, functional testing, gray box testing, and white box structural testing, etc.
Thank you. So validation is similar to your quality control process, where you're actually executing the code, you're actually executing your test cases return. Your goal is to identify the defects. So validation is basically your software testing process, and there are different methodologies which you use during the software testing or the validation, like black box, gray box, and white box. That we'll see in the coming topics, like what exactly is the black box, gray box, and white box, and why they are so important. So as of now, the validation is basically your quality control process, and verification is basically your quality assurance process. Please don't get confused. It's basically a very simple. Verification is equal to your assurance. Validations is equal to your quality control. And this is how the comparisons is done between the verification and validation. Disha, Arush, can you please go through the screen and see how it has been different? So you see the base different. Are you building it right? Are you building the right thing? So are you building the right thing? How you are doing it? You're executing your test cases and validating that the functionality is as per the requirement. But the process what you followed the process what you followed to develop the software is basically your verification process. That is what you are saying. Are you building it right? Are you developing the code for these requirements from the customer? That is basically you're verifying, like if the developer has not taken some other requirements from some other customer. So any doubts or question on this side, Arish, Tisha? Is it clear?
No, I got everything.
Great. Disha, any doubts? Any questions?
I have a question.
Yeah.
In verification, it says it's done by developers, and validation is done by testers. So verification has nothing to do with the coding, right? Like we do the actual coding in validation.
No, that's what I said.
So should be the other way?
You don't do the coding in validation. You do the coding in, like, when you are doing the validation of the applications, you are executing the code in the sense you are installing the software and you are trying to verify the application, the functionality of the applications. So how the developer is doing the verifications, they are going through code review, they are going to the documentation, they are going to the design documentation. I am sorry. I'm seeing some disturbance. I'm so sorry, I don't know from where that disturbance is coming in. I don't know, somebody is not muted. So you can hear me, right? Disha, Arush?
I can hear you.
Yeah, Sachin, I can hear you, but there's a lot.
I can hear you.
Cracking.
I seriously don't know, like, how the distribution is coming in, because I have muted everybody and seen still that disturbance is there. I have muted myself and still I see that distribution is there. So I'm not sure, like, from where. My apologies for that. So coming back to Arush, your questions. In validations, you actually execute the code in the sense you are installing the software. You are executing your test cases where you need to verify the functionality of the applications. But in terms of verifications, you are not executing any code. You are just inspecting, you are just having a discussion with the developer or the business analyst or the product manager how this requirement is going to behave. Right? You're just having a meeting. You're just trying to see the documents, the functional specification documents or software requirement specification. What you have is correct, and this is how the product should be behaving. But when it comes to the validation process, you're executing your test case and see the functionality is matches as per the functional document. If not, what you do is you go and raise the bug in Jira. But in terms of verifications, you are saying, hey, is it think like this functionality is going to work this way? You are not executing. You are just reading it. You are just reviewing it. So that is how it's two different processes.
Okay.
And
got it.
Verification is also done by a tester, but only for the test scenarios, requirement specification, test cases. That is basically they are verifying that they have all the requirements, all the test cases have been returned for those requirements. So this is how to do two different processes. So what I'm trying to say is these are two different processes. It's very similar to your, or it is similar to your quality assurance and quality control process. And still, I swearly say, like, still many people get confused about this verification and validation, quality assurance and quality control. So not to worry on that part. If you read and think politely or read it properly, you'll come to know the difference between verify and validate. Does that answer?
Okay.
Does that answer your question?
In such an, yeah, that's fine. If I don't reply you back, it doesn't mean that I'm not listening. I'm somewhere out right now, so I won't be able to reply to all of the questions. Okay, but I'll be listening to you.
That's fine, Arish. That's perfectly fine with me. I'm just checking,
Okay,
like,
thanks.
I'm just checking, like, if you are able to understand the concept which I'm taking.
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah.
So, Disha, you have any question?
No, sir. Good.
Great. So how this verifications and validation process works, if you see the screen on my laptop, it will come to know about the verification process. The verifications will be done based on business requirement. It's done for business requirement, software requirement analysis, the designs what they have developed. Like, okay, this design is perfect. Okay, no, there is some changes required. That's only the design. There is no code written for that. So they are just verifying it. But when it comes to validation, you actually performing some testing, like system testing, functional testing, unit testing. The coding has been done for the design what we have. And this is how two process works. So just take a couple of minutes on go through this and let me know, like, if you have any questions. And this is also called as a V model in the software development lifecycle. That we'll learn when we talk more about the software development lifecycle process. So any questions, Disha, Arush?
No, Sachin.
Great. So I'll just move Great. So I'll just move forward. So this is like each classes I have divided into like certain topics, and like I have divided the presentations for day 1, day 2, or session 1, session 2. So right now I have completed with session 1. So we'll take a quick break of 5 minutes. Now it is 7 p.m. MST. So we'll catch up at 7:06. Is that okay? And then I have a couple of more topics to be finished, which talks more about your defect life cycle, the career, the quality team and roles and responsibilities, the different certifications, the testing documents, what you have. So we'll take a quick break of 5 to 7 minutes, and then we can complete this. Is that okay?
Yes.
Yes, it's no problem.
Great. Thank you. I'm seriously not sure, like, from where that voice noise is coming in. Is it difficult to understand what I'm saying?
Yes, because like 2, 3 people talking on at a one time simultaneously, so everything is getting mixed.
Okay, what I'll do is, like, I'll just log out this and again rejoin the meeting. So please, you also rejoin the meeting. Okay. Okay. Okay.